Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Broadcasting Lounge for the highly anticipated start of the Supercars NZ MRP GT3 Championship. We are live on iRacing from the legendary Red Bull Ring in Austria, a circuit that blends long straights, brutal braking zones, and sweeping corners to create one of the most exciting challenges on the calendar. This season promises fierce competition, wheel-to-wheel battles, and the ultimate test of consistency as the drivers push their GT3 machines to the absolute limit. And tonight it all begins right here in Spielberg. Who will stake their claim early and set the pace for the season ahead? Will the favourites deliver, or will the new contenders rise from the pack? We've got all the action covered for you tonight, and I'm not alone in the booth. Joining me for round one is my co-commentator Corey Kitchen. Great to have you here. What are you most looking forward to as this new season gets underway?
Oh, Shano, GT3s, they get me excited. And what else gets me excited? Red Bull. We're at Red Bull Ring. I've got a can of Red Bull and I'm ready to go. We've got 8 rounds of GT3 action over the season. And what a place to start it off.
Yeah, what a place indeed. Very cool circuit in Spielberg, Austria. Here's the details. For tonight, round one at Red Bull Ring, 20 degrees ambient temperature out there, clear skies, so that sun will be baking on the track and making it nice and warm for all the drivers, which will make it difficult to keep those tyre temps under control and will affect lap times, particularly in the long runs. Although we do have just a couple of sprint races tonight, Corey.
Yeah, a couple of sprint races. Maybe, possibly, maybe some rain. Maybe.
Maybe some rain. That's always exciting for us watching trackside. I guarantee not many of the drivers in Discord and out there on track will be as excited about. I know one who will be excited about that is Down to Graph. He loves a bit of wet racing. He's asked for there to be some more wet racing this season, and ultimately the decision has been made by admin to run to realistic weather models this season. So we have, well, basically no idea when in the season we might find rain. No one does. It's all set up for iRacing to generate realistic weather forecasts.
That is absolutely awesome in my books.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. So Stefan McCartan currently on pole. Different qualifying format for this season as well. If you watched on Tuesday night with the heat racing there, you would have seen that play out in the V8. So anytime we go heat racing, the guys are limited to just 2 laps within that 15-minute window. So they have to choose their time wisely, get out there at the right time, and get their laps in. And thanks, Glory, for posting that comment in there and reminding me. Big thanks to Racecrafts, our Raceweek sponsor this week, and they have a discount code there, SCNZ25, for 10% off all products. So get to Racecrafts and chuck in that discount code to pick yourself up a cool little deal there.
Yeah, I did see a pretty cool looking button box on Facebook the other day. That I reckon 25, was it 25% off?
10% off. I think the
Oh,
25
10%
is
off.
the 25 is the
That's,
year, not the amount you get off.
yes, yeah. 10% though. That's it's got to be good. Got to be good for the pocket, and it's great that our weekly sponsors coming up with ideas like this. We absolutely love to get behind it.
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of guys have finished those 2 lap qualifying runs. Mitchell Sparrow out there currently, and he's set the fastest middle sector of anybody on this lap. So we'll see what he's able to do as he comes around the last couple of corners. See if he can jump up that order. We can get some timing data up on the screen there, and he's going to come to the line, and doesn't look like he's improved. Stays in 20th. So that's a surprise. Mitchell is a very quick driver, and he's set a couple of very quick sector times, second and third sectors on that lap. But the first sector, obviously, actually, you know what, the first sector was there or thereabouts. So I'm picking he's actually picked up an off track on that lap somewhere, and that's why he hasn't improved on his position there.
Yeah, looks Chris. Oh no, he's not moving. Ant Screen is out on track. He's naked tonight, unfortunately. Sorry, Ants. There's no paint for your car.
Yeah, looks like Ants is going to be the last guy to complete his qualifying run. Running around out there. Currently hasn't set a time, so sitting in 30th, not 1000th as the data at the bottom of the screen displays there. I think that's just a
I
little...
will point out, I know Dan Turner, you will be watching this back, and I'm going to say it right now. 2 Aston Martins. He was expecting there to be quite a few more. So I think Ferraris are outnumbering everything else out there.
Yeah, we have got a pretty good balance, but yeah, looks like a number of Ferrari logos. Ants just managed to slot it into P19 on his first lap there, and he's going again now. Don't know that he's going to have enough time to finish this lap, unfortunately, because it will cut him off as soon as it gets to 15 minutes, and that's only about 40 seconds away now. But as I said, timing very important with this qualifying format, and probably not a bad idea leaving it late till after everybody's done their laps. Lots of rubber down on the track. I can hear another
Yeah,
car
Chris
going around.
Zaluski's out there too.
Chris Zaluski is out there going around, but he's just come into the pits. So Ants still looking to be the only one on lap, but 15 seconds to go. I don't think he's quite going to make it to the line before time runs out on him.
No.
Timing on screen has frozen up, but I can tell you time is up now, and there we go. Qualifying is over, so it's going to be Stefan McCartan on pole position alongside Tinus Venter, and we will run through the full grid order for you in a moment, just before they start racing. If you're new to the GT3s, we've got rolling starts as usual, and they will line up somewhere midway around the lap, I think, at this track, but we can... Okay, we've got a little bit of an issue with our timing at the moment. Still showing as qualifying, so...
Good luck, everyone. Have a good race.
I think we're going to have to lose some data for a minute, and now it's going to come up.
Hold on, you've come right here on screen.
Yeah, but I haven't really, because at the moment I've got no control over anything.
Oh.
I've had to close SDK to get to there, but hopefully now, as that pops up with the grid, so hopefully we should be able to run through that. So Stefan McCartan on pole alongside Tinus Venter, and that all disappears on me. Bear with us, ladies and gentlemen. What we'll do is we'll go down trackside and we can see Stefan McCartan lining up behind the safety car, and we do have grids popping up there again now. So Stefan McCartan alongside Tinus Venter. Jaco Venter and Nico Cordia make up the second row. Then we go back to Brett O'Keefe, Michael van der Haas, Joshua Holmes, Sean McNamara. And then we can roll back to Aaron Goodrich, Chris Taylor, Rob Carwood, Dan Turner, Joshua Andrew, Phil Carpenter, Matt Gerard, Leith Swinney, Blake Greenhill, Heath Mann, Anthony Green, Noah Kitcher, Mitchell Sparrow, Tom McCall, Kristen Jenkins, Kevin DeFunterum, Chris Zaluski, Shane McLeod, Louis Robinson, Dylan Radford, Pete Rotmitz, Mark Noble, James McKenzie, Jake O'Rourke, and then looks like Alan Scott is going to be off the bat with Dion de Graaf, Peter Vanderberg and Ross Watson in race control tonight, and we will hear from Dion, Peter and Ross as the night goes on over race radio. We'll also hear drivers calling out to race control when they need to tow back to the pits or when they've been involved in an incident that they believe needs looking at. But we are rolling away behind the safety car. Stefan McCartan trying to get some heat into those tyres early on the short formation lap. Safety car will peel off just on the other side of this corner, and then Stefan McCartan will have control. We'll get the green flag once we get around the final corner and down towards the start finish line.
Spring Series Let's Go Racing. Shane.
Absolutely, we're getting ready to go. Stefan McCartan has control. The flag is in the air and we are underway, and Stefan jumps out to the early lead. Bit of 3 wide as they all filter through. Stefan going to lead them into turn 1. Some moves happening. Rob Carwood moving up into P10 ahead of Chris Taylor. Looks like everybody getting through turn 1 cleanly. Oh, there is someone off to the infield down in the background there. Can't quite pick up who that is. Looks like it might be Joshua Andrew at the tail of the field there. That looks to be the case. So Joshua coming unstuck at turn 1 there. Everybody up into the hairpin. Turn 3 there. Looks like that might have gone a little bit cleaner. Everybody through there pretty well. Plenty of action all the way through the field at the moment, but it's Stefan McCartan out front in control of this one, with Tinnis Menta just 0.3 behind. Battles going on. Dan Turner and Rob Carwood battling over 11th position at the moment. Dan Turner all over the back of Rob as they come around to the infield section. Plenty of dust being picked up, lots of debris will be getting brought back onto the track. That'll be a challenge next time they come around to that part of the track. And we've got a move going on there. Michael van der Haas down the inside and Sean McNamara moves up into P7.
Returning name, and Michael van der Haas. Been away for a while. Welcome back.
Yeah, very good to see a familiar old name returning. Sean McNamara taking a bit of pressure from behind from Aaron Goodrick as well. But Sean's come unstuck. He's gone to the infield.
Yeah, someone off on the other side as well, Shane.
Poppy can't do.
Is that?
Phil Carpenter.
Yeah, looks like Phil Carpenter was the West liveried McLaren, I think. Yeah, rejoining on the exit there. So plenty of action at turn 1 so far. I did hear race control on the radio in the background, but I didn't quite pick up what was being discussed there. There was something called in there. Certainly wasn't Sean's voice I heard calling out to race control. Oh, we've got Heathman in the gravel there, exit of turn 4, gets back going again.
Yeah, no change in the top 5, they're all where they started, and then from there down it is a mixture, but early on Mitchell Sparrow up 9 spots, Noah Kitcher up 6, and Dylan Radford up 8 spots. So some decent movers early on, but another incident towards the back. Possibly Joshua Andrews again, James McKenzie involved. A little bit to unpack as we move on through. So it's 2 races, isn't it, tonight, Shane? It'll be a reverse grid for the second.
Yeah, that's the other new format for the heat racing this season, is we're not just reversing the top 5 or the top 10 or the top 8, we're reversing the whole grid when we go into the second race. So whoever comes out on top in this one is going to have to make their way through all the way from the back to try and get back through to the front.
Yeah, race control, car 100, lap 2, close to 2.
Right off Jenkins, just calling out to race control there. He's been off the track, been involved in an incident, getting back going. Now I've been digging back through the data to try and find out what happened to Joshua Andrew on that one.
Right,
I'm not seeing. Actually, I do have just now found data for Josh. So into turn 1 here on that one, and just getting loose under power and going around. Just gave the barrier a little love tap. Shouldn't have been heavy enough to cause any significant damage, so should have got away with that one.
It looks like Matthew Gerard, he's had a change of colours over the off-season. Looks to be reduced Yeah, I've lost his name.
Yes, they're showing Leapfrog Juice Racing on the driver information there. I think they potentially also don't have a livery for the Aston yet, so he's running an iRacing livery by the look of that one.
But maybe you need to turn that hide custom on this thing. I think that's what that is.
Ah, right,
Put
okay.
all the paint on, so that will be the answer to that.
That must have reset with the UI update then.
Yeah, that'll be it. Yeah, of course, iRacing update every season. Of course, this is the start of the spring season, so there's been a few changes. Replay here at the start. Sean McIntyre looks one of the red cars. Must be BJ Keith.
So Sean, very similar to what we saw with Josh Andrew there, just under power, looping it out of turn 1, and as that was going on we also had Phil Carpenter going off in McLaren, and oh, looks like he would have had a bit of contact there. Was that, I want to say that might have been Mitchell Sparrow? Don't quote me on it, because I don't want to, car 20 I can see there, and or was it?
He's 28.
Play it through one more time, I might have. Oh yeah, that is 28 by the look of it, isn't it?
Car 100 were contact with car 3. Car 3, you will have a drive-through penalty for avoidable contact.
But at least it's early on. It's been a 15-minute race. I can't tell you how long the second race is. It's possibly 40 minutes. Not 100% sure.
So I've just heard race control issuing a penalty to car 3. That's Sean McIntyre, and it sounds like that was that incident with Ride-Off Jenkins. Car 100.
He's been served twice now. Both race control have given car 3 a consent to the naughty corner.
I wonder if we can get a little bit of a better angle of that one, because the first one... Oh! Sean getting his braking all wrong and straight into the back of Ride-Off, so yeah, that's a pretty easy decision there, and Sean making his way into pit lane to serve that one now.
Sean, I know you'll be listening to this in the van tomorrow. Just to remind you, there's a speed map for that car. So yeah, I've just looked it up, Shana. I've found it in the new UI. I'm still learning to work my way around that, but the second race will be 25 minutes, and it's going to be an invert wall.
We've got an incident. Phil Carpenter involved, and
Attention all
it's
teams,
Dylan Redford, I
contact
think.
with car 4 and 28. No further action and no braking room was given.
Okay, so Phil Carpenter and Mitchell Sparrow raced an incident there. Dylan Radford has lost his rear wing in that incident with... I've forgotten who the other driver involved in that was already, as after I stopped to listen to race. Oh, that was Phil Carpenter again, wasn't it? It was. Phil has slotted in behind, or we can see what happened there. So they come side by side into turn 1. Phil just bouncing off the curb there and making contact with the right rear of Dylan Radford, and then, well, Dylan's let it roll back into the tyres, and with that rear wing protruding in the way it does off the back of that Acura, just bumping off as soon as he bumped into the tyres there.
So I'm just trying to get me voice chat going so I can actually hear it. Now I can hear what's going on.
Race control lap 7 turn 1, please.
Blake Greenhill calling into
Copy,
race control
Carpetti.
there. He's up and running again from what he looks like he had, but we're close. He's almost got into the back of Mark Noble there, but evades disaster. But this was the incident that Blake was involved in. Ooh. So it was car 834 is Tom McCall. So Tom had gone for a very forceful move, and the question that race control will be looking at there is, was he well enough in control of his car when he made the move there, and did he leave Blake enough racing room as well? So they'll look at those factors and determine whether there's anything to answer there. But Stephen McCartan currently out front, but just 0.2 of a second clear of Tinus Venter with just 5 minutes remaining in this first race.
Yeah, just before Shane, when I did say Stefan McCartan's name, and then all that happened, he had set the fastest lap of the race, but since then, Tinus Venter has bettered it and done a 1:28.883. So he's absolutely flying at second, and he is right on his tail at the moment, putting all the pressure on.
Yeah, that's very cool, good pace from Tinus Venter out there, and as you say, putting all the pressure on Stefan McCartan. Stefan not having it all his own way in this race so far.
No, but in a familiar place. On board here, Tinus Venter. What are we, lap 8? So they're going to get another couple in, aren't they? Well, one in it, but yeah, they'll get two in now that he's about to cross the line now.
Yeah,
Great shot.
Got 3 minutes to go just after we cross the line. It's about a minute and a half lap, so they should get... They might even squeeze 3 in. Probably not. That'll have to be... Well, they're just under a minute and a half. They might squeeze 3 in.
Yeah, these top 3 last time by all 3 were the 128s.
Oh, he's getting very close under brakes into turn 3. Gets off turn 3 quite well as well, which is critical to setting up a potential pass down here at turn 4. Sitting in the draft as he pull out into the corner, he thinks about it, he does slide down the inside. Side by side, maybe a little bit of a rub as they get through turn 4 and turn 5 there. And Tinus Venter gets ahead on the exit of the corner. Stephen McCartan looking to come back down the inside though through the infield. They're going to go side by side. Can hold it on the outside here, but plenty of debris and dirt for Tinus to deal with there, and that ultimately cost him, I think, just having to get through all that junk off the racing line there, and ultimately just meant he wasn't able to live on the outside, and Stefan lives to fight another day. But Tinus looking very racy out there at the moment, and he is keen to get there and win this race.
Yeah, what a great exchange for these two drivers, and Jaco Venter just sitting back in the background, because if anything happens with these two, that's doors open for him. It's always good when it's like this towards the end of the race, isn't it? It could go any way, because you can see there's at least half a dozen cars still in the shot.
Yeah, absolutely. We love these good, tight races. So often the sprint
just
race.
about 7 seconds. Is back to Brett O'Keefe in 6th spot.
Contact between car 30 and 834. 834 will have a post-race penalty.
Tom McCall picking up a post-race penalty for his contact with Blake Greenhill there. But Tinus wasn't able to get down the inside at the same place on this occasion. I believe we may squeeze one more lap in after this one. I'm watching that time tick down. We did have just over a minute and a half to go as they cross the line, and they are doing sub 90-second lap times, so I think we should get there. Coming down through the final corner now, 10 seconds to go. It's going to be close, but yeah, I think they are just going to get there. There's the white flag flying, so this will be the final lap. This will be Tinus Venter's last chance to see if he can get back ahead of Stefan and stay ahead on this occasion. He's close out of turn 1, probably not close enough to think about a move into turn 3, but he can look to set it up in the same way he did a couple of laps ago, wiping some junk off that screen with the wiper there. Getting close under brakes again. It does work. It does very much clear junk off the screen when you run the wipers.
Oh wow,
Stefan,
cool.
yeah, Stefan getting a good exit on this occasion. Should be safe enough. He's going to cover the inside line as well, but comes back across to the racing line. Recognises that he's got enough gap. Half a chance for Tinus to throw it down the inside into the infield section there, but if he can't do that, then I think Stefan's relatively safe, although he's picked up a lot of junk off the exit of turn 4 and 5. But he's managed to keep it nice and clean through there, and he's opened up nearly a half a second gap. Put in the best middle sector of the race so far, so he's found the pace at the right time and really put his foot down. Just got to deal with the last couple of corners now, and I think he's going to hold them off. So race 1, round 1. First race of the evening, Stefan McCartan does the job in a very tight battle with Tinus Venter. Stefan McCartan claims P1 in the first race. Tinus Venter will come home a close second. Jaco Venter makes it 2 Gamma Flare cars on the podium, finishing in third, and Nico Cordia third of the Gamma Flare cars, all line astern there. P4 from Nico Cordia. Joshua Holmes P5, Brett O'Keefe P6, Mitchell Sparrow finishes P7, Aaron Goodrich P8, Michael Vanderhaas P9, Noah Kitcher rounding out the top 10 there, Dan Turner just missing out on a top 10 in 11th, Leith Swinney comes home 12th, Rob Carwood 13th, Matt Gerard 14th, Chris Taylor 15th, Louis Robertson 16th, Mark Noble 17th, Heath Mann 18th, Blake Greenhill 19th, Anthony Green comes across in P20, Sean McNamara 21st, Jack O'Rourke 22nd, Pete Rotmitz 23rd, Shane McLeod 24th, James McKenzie 25th, Chris Zaluski 26th, Kevin DeFunterum 27th, Joshua Andrew comes across in 28th, Kristen Jenkins still got the last couple of corners to deal with, but looks pretty nailed on in 29th at the moment. And he will...
Must be a good change for him out of the Ford GTE and into that. It must feel real nice.
Yeah, into the Acura. And Alan Scott, last car on the lead lap, he will bring it home in P30. Coming through the final corner now, and coming down to the finish line, takes the checkered flag, P30 for Alan Scott. Off the lead lap we had Phil Carpenter 31st, Dylan Radford 32nd, and Tom McCall 33rd. And that will do it for race 1. So we go into a 5-minute warm-up now, and then we will go again for 25 minutes, I believe, for the second race.
Yeah, 25-minute race with a full reverse grid. So Stefan McCartan, you're starting at the back. You're going to have to pass 30 plus cars to get a win in the second one, and full credit to anybody that can do that, I think. So that's a challenge.
Yeah, we had plenty of excitement in the closing stages of that first one with the battle for the lead, and it's going to be very exciting watching Stefan McCartan come through from the back in the second one. I can't wait for that. Of course, this is the MRP GT3 Championship, and big thanks to MRP. You can head to mrpsimracing.co.nz to check out their full range, and that link is in the description of this video as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Get amongst it, yourself some track racer gear, plenty of other stuff. If you're into 4AGEs, then Barry and the team at MRP are definitely the place to go for that too. If you want to get one of those things revving out, absolutely. And don't forget, weekly sponsor, Racecrafts. Got the details there. realise I can't read it off the chat on the side of the screen there.
Well, I can tell you that SCNZ 25, and if you head to racecrafts.co.nz, you can enter that code for a 10% discount on their full range.
Hey, well, I'm going to go there now. I'm going to go there now. That I've gone to their site. And you can see one of these Racecraft Pit Pro RCO3 Premium Series button boxes. You can see it's $189.90, but if we go to add to cart, what was the code?
It was SCNZ 25.
Oh, that banks it takes off $19, so that is that's an epic saving, and plenty of stuff that you can check out on the Racecraft's website too. Wheelbase mods as well. So I've actually got a shifter mod that I've got from them for my Logitech shifter, which uses you just unscrew the top, put the new piece on. Use third gear and fourth gear as sequential, so I've just made it into a sequential shifter. It uses rubber bands to keep it in the centre. But yeah, pretty cool. You know, it's not expensive. It's cheap sim racing options out there. You don't have to go and spend 200 grand on your simulator, that's for sure.
Yeah, very cool. Love that. And love that they've given us that little discount code to share with all our viewers and all our members. So get out there and check that out. Tell you what, while we've still got just over a minute left in the warm-up, we can run our MRP ad again.
Ever since I was a kid, I've been the gym. If I was your wife, you could have went and sometime over her body, oh, she just swung rolling down my bed. Ever since I was a G, I've been the gym. Wishing that I know she wanna be.
So big thanks to MRP for all their support, and they are title sponsor of this championship, the MRP GT3 Championship, and we're kicking off a whole new season of that tonight. We're one race down, Stephen McCartan taking the win in that one, but he is going to have to do it from the back of the grid if he wants to make it a double. 25 minutes for him to come through in the second one. We're just about ready to go with that. I'm very excited. I hope all of you at home are just as excited as I am for that.
Can't hear you, Stefan.
Probably best.
Just using moving my UI.
Alright, we are getting ready to roll. The cars are lining up on the grid and we can see how they're going to roll up for this one. So it's going to be Tom McCall off the pole, Dylan Radford alongside, and then Phil Carpenter, Alan Scott, Kristen Jenkins. Then we've got Sean McNamara, Josh Andrew, Kevin DeFunterin, Chris Zalewski, James McKenzie, Shane McLeod, Pete Roberts, Jake O'Rourke, Anthony Green, Blake Greenhall, Heath Mann, Mark Noble, Louis Robertson, Chris Taylor, Matt Gerard, Rob Carwood, Leith Swinney, Dan Turner, Noah Kitcher, Michael Vanderhaas, Aaron Goodrick, Mitchell Sparrow, Brett O'Keefe, Joshua Holmes, and then Nico Cordia, Jakob Venter, Tinnis Benter and Stefan McCartan doing it from the back. I am very keen to see how far Stefan can get in this one. But we are rolling away behind the safety car, and it's Tom McCall from the front. Glen Radford's going to get the inside the way it pans out, with those race control guys having been given a grid spot by iRacing, but then obviously not joining the grid. So Dylan's going to have the inside, but Tom should have control over the field.
The beauty of the reverse grid.
Absolutely, and we are ready to roll, and Tom's jumped nice and early, and we're going to get down in towards turn 1. Tom leads the way in. Stefan McCartan looking pretty patient at the back, getting around, or getting up ahead of Tinnis Benter into turn 1, and he's actually managed to briefly got to the apex ahead of Jaco Venter, but Jaco just slotting in the end there. Christian Jenkins in P7 there, up one spot. Oh, I'm seeing, oh, there's drama.
What are you doing, bro?
Oh, there's names jumping all over the place. Michael van der Haas has ended up well off the track. Still going on.
Tom's Josh.
Still going on in the background there, and
Range control 051, turn 2, can't hold the brakes.
Stefan McCartan has been caught up in that, and he's missing the front bumper off that car. Oh, and he's got more problems than that as well. He struggles to get it turned, so that is a big setback. He's going to have to come back to the lane and get a fast repair. Looks like everybody has managed to get back going. Haven't heard anybody request a tow, so I don't think we're going to need a safety car on that one, but that was big drama.
Yeah, so I think
race
Stefan
control,
fell victim to that car that reversed across the track.
Have a look.
So there's a lot going on at the moment. Race control is really, really busy.
Race control, car 169. Lap 1.
All
Second to
Matt
last,
Gerard.
second to last water.
So he's calling that one in, facing the wrong way, down towards the end of the lap there. Stefan McCartan makes his way into the pits. I think they are going to need a stop in this one, but I'm not sure. Not sure they're actually in the window to fuel up and get home at this point.
Yeah, they will have to stop. They are limited on fuel, so they will have to make some sort of a stop for fuel. I wouldn't imagine any of them are going to take tyres.
You wouldn't think so in a 25-minute race. These tyres should well and truly do that sort of distance. Mitchell Sparrow up 20 spots in this one already, and setting the fastest time of anybody in the race so far in the first and third sectors. Actually, I think that's the third sector on the last lap and the first sector on this lap.
Looks to be good enough fuel for 9-10 laps. But that's just me sitting static in the pits. So we'll have to see. The safety car will obviously make a lot of a difference to that. They'll probably get running in.
So I'm just doing a quick calculation on my end. Oh, by my calculation, the race should only be 17 laps, so they should be good.
Maybe let Joe somebody can't have enough fuel basically.
What it does mean is those guys that have had to come in and get those fast repairs won't have an opportunity to get any of that damage back, because ideally you won't come to the pits at all, and those guys have had no choice due to that lap 1 drama. scrolling back in the data to find a big field of red in a short space of time. Not really finding it, but it looks like potentially the start of that might have been Louis Robertson. So we've got data on Louis here.
I was a bit shit at a couple of things in the chat there. Apparently my comms is very quiet, but it might be the car noise a bit loud and it's drowning out the commentary.
Could be. I'll turn that down and I can turn you up a little bit as well.
Yeah, everything's going good so far. There's been there's been those that incidents on lap 1, but everybody's sort of settled down a little bit. No safety car. Back in the replay here. This is back at lap 1.
So it was Chris Taylor that got tagged. And then he's sitting there.
He did the right thing. He sat there, let everybody go past.
Yep, so this will tell us this one here will tell us what happened to Stephen McCartan. So searching for the gaps early on there, almost having to come to a stop. So was that Tinnis or Yarko? Anyway, one of the Gamma Fleet. Yeah, that is brutal for Stefan there, and that was the other.
Rejoin will be somebody in trouble, I think.
Yeah, that was another Gamma Flare car that was coming back across the track there. So I think, yeah, I don't want to speculate on who that was because it's going to be pretty difficult to.
Driving infringement to car 21, drive-through penalty for avoidable contact.
Car 21
Yes,
drive-through
that's
penalty for contact.
That's the car that went across the track, Joshua Andrews, so he's going to be taking a tour of the lane for his part in that.
Certainly very understandable there. Blake Greenhall and Jaco Venter doing battle for P7. With this jumbled up grid area, it's so hard to know where to look at the moment. There's action everywhere on track. Just look at all the cars fanning out on the back straight there.
Yeah, we're 5 laps into the race and everybody is in full race mode for sure. We've got 2 wide, 3 wide. We've got BJ O'Keefe here just out by himself. Well, briefly, he's got a bunch of cars behind him, and there's a bunch of cars behind him, a bunch of cars in front of him.
The movers and groovers are highly entertaining at the moment. We've got Jaco Venter, our biggest mover, up 28 spots. So he managed to make his way through all that chaos pretty cleanly, and he's moved his way up into P6 after starting almost right off the back.
Yeah, might have had a good run through that incident that took place at the start. That might have been a bit of a help there. But there's a lot of guys up double digit.
Yeah, Mitchell Sparrow also 26, Aaron Godwick 21, Brett O'Keefe 21, Joshua Holmes 20. That's a lot of guys in the 20s, and then we've got Nico Cordy at 18. Stephen McCartan 10, despite the fact that he was caught up in that lap 1 drama.
Attention all teams. Driving infringement for car 707, drive-through penalty.
So this Venter picking up a drive through there as well.
Yeah, that'll be for the lap 1, I think, maybe with Stefan, maybe, I don't actually know.
Yeah, I think it was Tinnis that rolled back across into Stefan's path there. It was certainly a Gamma Flare car that I saw involved in that. I believe that must have been Tinnis there.
Stefan's managed to get himself up 10 spots, so he's in 26, so he's got a fair way to go, but we've still got time. Still got time. Just about 15 minutes to go.
Attention all teams. Car 769, no further action, right
So no further action for car 769. Just want to pick up who that is.
That's Nico.
Ah, yes. Stephen McCartan's... Oh! We've got rain! Looks like only at turn 1, but we have got rain. This could be an opportunity for... Well, for Stephen McCartan. Does he take a gamble here? He's got the wipers on.
Oh, I've got a message coming in from Cheryl. There is cars spinning already. Alan Scott is off, but we do have rain coming across the track. It's currently across 3/4 of it, and it doesn't look like it's going away. It's going to be here possibly for the rest of the race.
Okay, so probably no gambles to be taken then. 15 minutes. People are already going off. Stefan throwing up a lot of gravel there. Not looking like it's at wets. Not looking like the whole track is ready for wets as yet. But, well, there's rain coming down there. So, I think the gamble is going to be when do you get in for wets? How far do you go?
Driving infringement, car 51, drive-through penalty.
Oh, Stephen McCartan is going to have to take a drive-through.
Oh, I might wonder what was that for? I missed that.
I think that was the first contact at turn 3 before the other car rolled into his path. It was with one of the Gamma Flare cars at turn 3 where there was contact at the apex. I think that would have been what was deemed to be Stefan's fault there. Yeah, that rain coming down pretty heavy now, so everybody's going to have to come and get wets at some point. Stephen McCartan going to have to take an extra trip through the lane as well to serve that drive-through. I'd be wanting to, if you're not getting in to get wets at the end of this lap, I'd be getting that drive-through done at the end of this lap, just to make sure that you're not forcing your hand into having to clear that drive-through when you want to get onto wets.
Yeah, you're 100%. You don't want to waste too much time. That's for sure. Not at a short track either. I'll tell you what, Phil Carpenter at the moment is he's leading the race, and he's sort of had the lead most of it.
Oh, Dylan Radford and Mitchell Sparrow running very wide at turn 1 in the background, so that tells you that the grip level is getting low, and you can see spray starting to come off the cars, which is a sure sign that we're starting to see some standing water form on the track. Oh, Sean's had a big one. I could hear the tyres squealing in the back of the shot there, and he's got the rear wheel off that car. This could be requiring a tow. Looking like he's able to drag it along back onto the track here. Probably doesn't know how bad the damage is, and he is pulling up now. So, well, he's towed without requesting. But pit lane very, very busy, so now is the time to be getting onto wets, and everybody in there doing that. Our first car on wets is Aaron Goodrick. He is just out of the pits now.
Oh, looks like I need to show tyres on my live timing.
Definitely you do. I'm just looking to see, we do have the option to show tyres on the timing tower there as well, so we can see there Aaron Goodrick, first car on wet tyres, and well, what's his get to Anthony Green? It's 18 seconds at the moment.
Nico Cordia, he's just had a moment that Audi did not, just about come back on track. Looks like he's going to have to wait. got cars coming, so that's an unfortunate thing. But the gentlemanly thing to do, that's for sure. And it looks like the front runners all coming into the lane now as well. Everybody, apart from Jake O'Rourke, he is going to drive through it.
That's brave. That is so
Only
brave.
Jakey boy would do that. There is cars going off everywhere. We've got Mark Noble off, and
Well, look how much spray is coming off Jake's car now, and that's with no tread pattern on those slick tyres to throw any water up either. That's just the aero lifting the spray, lifting the water off the track and spraying it back into the air, and he's pushing on. Surely though, 10 minutes to go. Surely he can't survive in these conditions on wet tyres for another 10 minutes.
on dries ants. Green hasn't changed either. So Ants Green is the only other one, and Jake O'Rourke, the two out there. Noah Kitcher is still out there on dries. Matthew Gerard, he's just come in. Obviously, he's just changed.
And we can see there Joshua Holmes able to round up Ant Green pretty comfortably there, and Brett O'Keefe cruising through as well. So I think that tells us that the wet is the tyre to be on, but well, Jake O'Rourke still got a 10-second gap back to Mitchell Sparrow, and he's pushing on. But that gap is going to start eroding rapidly soon. You can see they're struggling to keep it on the track, running out very wide. Possibly picked up a slowdown there as well that he's going to have to get rid of, and looks like he has done that down the main straight. That gap coming down ever further, and just no grip out there. He runs wide. He's going to be struggling, and Mitchell Sparrow is going to round him up pretty quickly at this rate, I think.
I've just had another message through from Cheryl, our weather lady, and the wind has turned and it's actually blowing the weather back over us. So it did look like it was going to dry up, but now it's actually going to get thicker. It's actually going to get more rainier.
Well, that's insane. Welcome to Austria.
Well, it's live weather, isn't it? I think, isn't it?
Not live weather. It's realistic weather. So based on the time and date you select, it goes back through history to come up with a weather model that it deems would be realistic for that time of year and that time of day, and then it creates that forecast, but then also works in probabilities, always working out probabilities of how that actually adapts through the race, as well as Kevin DeFunterum, I think, or
Noah Kitcher was.
no,
it was
not Noah Kitcher, so he was off the lead lap, going big time sideways there. Got data on Alan Scott, and he's going to crash out there as well in the tricky conditions.
Noah's on dry tyres as well. So 3 guys out there. Well, Jake, he's decided it is time to put wets on. No? Yes. Well, I think so. He's in the pit lane anyway.
Yeah, he's up on the jacks, that he has switched to wet tyres. Anthony Green pushing on for another lap, so this will be interesting to see whether Jake's able to round up Ants. Oh, certainly no grip out there on those slicks, is there?
No, you'd be hanging in there, but I mean, positions gained. I mean, Ants is up 6 spots, so he's just got to do the Liam Lawson and defend. The new Minister of Defence. Did you see that? I love that.
Yeah, credit to Liam Lawson doing a great job on the weekend in Azerbaijan to
Attention all
pick up a
teams.
personal best P5
Con-
finish.
Driving infringement for car 63. Drive-through penalty.
Car 63, Mark Noble picking up a drive-through penalty. I'm not sure we quite caught what that one was for.
Oh, nobody won't be happy about that. It's weird hearing you call him Mark Noble, because that's a name that I don't hear very often, and I know him very well.
Oh, I don't think that's what the penalty would have been for. Just getting loose in the wet conditions there, and unfortunately getting collected by another couple of cars on the way through. Unfortunately, I think without knowing who the other driver involved was, it's going to be very hard to pick up what he's actually picked up that penalty for there.
Yeah, might have to get the race control boys to use the live updates channel and give us a bit more details.
Joshua Holmes and Aaron Goodrick going side by side. Josh gets ahead, but he's on the wrong side of the track. Aaron firing it back down the inside. Running through the gravel there, plus the water. That's going to very much affect the grip levels out there, and Josh sliding it back down the inside now, and looks like he should have that job done. Just noticed a pretty decent puddle of water next to the outside curb there.
Yeah, a lot of undulation here, so the water will settle at the bottom of hills. Good news from Cheryl is it looks like turn 2 is actually cleared up, and just had Kevin to front her and back it up into the wall, and heavy damage on the back of that. Is it a Ferrari? Can't tell, it's got no bum left on it.
It is a
It is.
Ferrari. Oh, that is, yeah, big damage, massive toe in on the right rear there, and that will not be an easy thing to drive. Oh,
And unfortunately he's yeah, it's hard to get out of the way when you've got no control of the car too, but I think that might be it for him. Possibly going to have a tow. He has apologised in the text chat. Michael Vanderhaas reversing over the start-finish line.
again, no request to tow going out there, so maybe not. Are we running that role in the GT3s this season? I would have thought we were, but Sean was the first one that we saw tow and didn't kill, so maybe we're not, because Sean, you would imagine, would be all over that if we were.
Yes. Yeah, just reading Sean's race control brief. Request to tow is in effect if you crash and you want to turn a pit. So he posted that at 8:05, and I believe he did not follow that rule.
Wow. Naughty boy Sean. To be fair,
The
this...
wind has changed direction again, Shane. Oh my god, I can't do this. So turn 1's dry, well there's no rain over turn 1. There's light rain over the rest of the track, heavy rain at turn 2.
Oh wow. I think either way we're not going to see this dry out before the end of the race, because we do only have a minute and a half remaining. Mitchell Sparrow currently in control. He's got 9 seconds back to Phil Carpenter, so absolute masterclass on the wet so far for Mitchell Sparrow, but he's still going to have to do one more lap after this one, I believe. I can only imagine
Mitchell Sparrow.
all that
29 spot.
Yeah, massive gains there for Mitchell. All that dirt and debris on the exit of turn 4 there, I can only imagine just how mushy and slimy and horrible that is once you throw all that
Oh,
water
yeah.
on top of it.
Yeah, there's no signs of a dry line anywhere. It is wet, and it is heavy rain over parts of the track now.
Well, there was a few bumpers on the exit of the final corner there, and it looks like, well, you can see a couple of cars. Alan Scott, one of those. Kevin DeFunter just behind him. But we've got Alan Scott, Tom McCall, and Joshua Andrew all crashing in short succession. Oh!
There's
Wow.
bits of car everywhere.
Yeah.
And
That was
surely, is Alan just trying to drive that around?
I believe so. We are on the final lap. Time's up. Mitchell Sparrow 11 seconds back to Phil Carpenter now. I think we might need to give Mitchell Sparrow the title of Rainmaster based on this performance.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, James McKenzie is no. Somebody, oh, Alan Scott is parked it. I'm not sure what corner that is.
Well, the rain came, the chaos came with it, but Mitchell Sparrow kept his head down, put the lap times in, and has delivered an absolute masterclass in the slippery conditions, and he slips and slides his way to a race victory, race 2, round 1, Supercars NZ MRP GT3 Championship. Well done, Mitchell Sparrow. 13.5 seconds clear of Phil Carpenter, who is coming down to the line now, and will come across in P2. And then nearly another 10 seconds back to Joshua Holmes, rounding out the podium there. So combination of the reverse grid and the wet weather mixing up the podium results here tonight. 6 completely different podium finishes. Aaron Goodrick comes home in P4, Brett O'Keefe P5, Jaco Venter 6th. Blake Greenhill is going to get to the line in P7. That was a lap car that was alongside him as they came to the line. Oh, James McKenzie gets the run on Chris Taylor down towards the line, and James does just get there over Chris. So James P8, Chris P9, Stefan McCartan recovers into P10. That was a decent recovery for Stefan after the way this race started and having to serve a drive-through penalty as well. Dylan Radford comes home in 11th, Dan Turner 12th, Rob Carwood 13th, Michael Vanderhaas 14th, Nico Cordia 15th, Pete Rotmet 16th, Kristen Jenkins 17th, Leith Swinny 18th, Jaco Rourke 19th, Louis Robertson 20th, Sinus Venter, messy race for him, involved in the dramas and picking up a drive-through penalty as well, but comes home in 21st. And Chris Zalewski, our Raceweek sponsor, finishing in the pits in 22nd. Josh Andrew comes home in 23rd. Looks like he was the last car on the lead lap. Actually, Matt Gerard coming down the pits. Actually, I think he's just done a full in lap and is parking it now, so he was 24th. Sean McNamara 21st, Tom McCall 26th, Shane McLeod 27th, Anthony Green 28th, Heath Mann 29th. Looks like, yeah, I think Heath Mann was the last of our finishers by the look of it. Looks like Noah Kitch, actually he might have made it to the line as well. 30th.
Yeah, I think they followed the leader over the line, a bunch of
Okay.
those guys.
And Alan Scott 31st, Kevin DeFuntram 32nd, Mark Noble 33rd. So I think we did actually have 33 cars finish the race, didn't we?
I will say we're 30, I reckon. Alan
30?
Scott was parked, so I think he
Okay.
just waited till everybody had finished. And
Right.
I think Kevin, after that incident, parked it up, and I'm not too sure what happened with Nobby. He hasn't been in the car for a while, get a bit of rain, I guess, and gets a little bit scary for some, I imagine.
Yeah, certainly was pretty hectic out there, but a good performance, good drive for Mitchell Sparrow, dealing with the tricky conditions very well and pulling out that 13-second margin over Phil Carpenter. And as I say, Mitchell Sparrow looks to be our rainmaster at the moment. We'll have to wait and see as the season goes on whether anybody is able to take that challenge to him if we get any more wet conditions throughout this season. But that was a very exciting night of racing, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, and you just look at that, the timing, the live time. Mitchell Sparrow up 29, Joshua Holmes up 29. Then we got Brett O'Keefe, Jacko Venter up 28, Stefan McCartan up 26, Brett O'Keefe up 26, Aaron Gridlock up 25. That is great.
Oh,
Yeah, plenty of movement,
just
plenty of
check lap
excitement
13, I think,
created
of the
by
second to last
the reverse
corner?
grid there,
You
and
just check that one?
the wet conditions very much adding to that as well. Well, I've had
I've noted it.
a great time tonight. Thanks, Corey, for joining me in the
was that
lounge as
much?
always.
Oh, absolutely, my
Yeah,
pleasure.
I'll look into
It's
that now.
it's always good to get amongst the GT3s, and
Yeah,
don't forget, if you're
Scott, I think.
want to get into some more racing, Tuesday on the Broadcasting Lounge. Is there talking going on? No, yeah, you'll have the V8. They head to Bathurst for one race. It's just one race at Bathurst. I think 20 something laps. I think is the go for Tuesday. So you can catch that live from 8:30 on Tuesday, and Thursday. Where are we off to next week, Shano?
That's a very good question.
We're off to Le Mans.
Oh, very exciting.
Yeah, it's honestly a great place to go racing, and looks like it's just one race.
Yeah, I would say that
Yeah,
track certainly lends itself more to endurance racing than sprint racing, sorry, so I imagine that'll be a single race.
Yeah, I would imagine it would, but how good is that? You can look forward to that next week, but that's all from us, I believe, and yeah.
Yes, a big thanks, of course, to Racecraft, our Race Week sponsor this week. Head to racecrafts.co.nz and enter the code SCNZ25 to get 10% off their full range there at checkout. And of course, MRP, title sponsor of the MRP GT3 Championship. Head to mrpsimracing.co.nz, check out their full range there and get yourself sorted with some very cool sim racing products. Big thanks to all our drivers for coming along and giving us a race to broadcast for everybody, and big thanks to iRacing for providing the platform to do it all on. Thanks to everybody at home for tuning in, and we will see you all next time.
since I was a kid. I've been the G.